Hi, I'm Caroline Quinn. For those of you who know me, you know that talking in front of people or really talking in general is not my thing. And despite all of my efforts, I was unable to weasel my way out of this speech. I just keep telling myself 6 minutes without throwing up or passing out, and it'll be okay. My original plan for this speech was to talk about Hurricane Odile. My family and I were planning on going down there for Thanksgiving to visit some of our friends who live there, and then we were going to check up on some of the houses that we had repaired after the hurricane. And the Tuesday of Thanksgiving break, my dad decided, due to a myriad of circumstances, that we were not going to go. So I had to change my speech. And I decided that I was going to write my speech on how I really like to have a plan. I'm a planner. I like to be in control and I like to have a schedule. I've always been this way. And I really don't like it when my plans change. I mean, I was the neurotic 8th grader who, for the class trip, I typed out and printed off and laminated the itinerary, and I made one for all my friends, and I was really excited about it, so excited to give them to them, and they all looked at me like I was insane. But rightfully so. As much as I'd love to fly by the seat of my pants, I'm really just not wired that way. I'm not really sure where my type A tendencies come from because neither of my parents really like to have a plan. My dad told me a while ago that he keeps 2 duffel bags in the back of his car because he just never knows what's happening next. And when I was giving this speech to Mr. Renshaw, he suggested that I add one more story. So I texted my mom and I was like, oh, what do you think I should add? And she goes, well, really? Or I asked her, what's a story? And she said, anytime the plans change, or anytime we make plans and they fall through. So I just don't cooperate with that very well. And my parents love to change my plans. A few weeks ago, my parents decided they were going to go to a hockey game, so they needed me to pick up my brother and drop him off and pick him up at hockey practice. And usually this wouldn't have been a big deal, but I'd already made plans, and they were telling me really last minute. So I got really, really upset about it. And so then they got to the hockey game, and they were there with a family friend, and she was telling him about how upset I was about the change in plans. And he looked at her and he said, is this normal? Is this something we should be worried about? And she replied, well, she's just always been this way, and then continued to recount a story about how when I was little, she would drop me off at school, and I'd ask, oh, what's the plan? And if she said we were going to Target, like, that's what we were doing. And so when she picked me up and had changed the plans, even if it was something that I would have enjoyed more than going to Target, I freaked out. I just couldn't handle it. But while my parents' inability to maintain a plan is very frustrating, they've taught me a little bit of flexibility because of it. And through this whole college application process, that little bit of flexibility that I've gained has been really valuable because not having a plan for the next 4 years of my life is terrifying. I mean, I can plan where I want to go to school or what I'll study, but inevitably my future is in the hands of someone who doesn't even know me. But I think the hardest part is that after going through this process, I've realized that there are a lot of things in life that I'm not going to be able to control and have a plan for. And it's really scary for me. But I think I've learned that to value this flexibility because there's always going to be someone or something that's going to ruin my perfectly laid out plans. And I need this flexibility in order to find my way around them because I can't always throw a tantrum because I didn't get to go to Target. So, thank you.